I don't think it's wrong as long as we understand that this is a tactic that we're using, that drones are a particular tactic that needs to serve a broader strategic end. And the problem is that we've let the tactic become the strategy. And that's not the best way to try to defeat al-Qaeda strategically.
Couldn't the argument be made that that's exactly what our enemies do? They employ tactics that drive strategies such as suicide bombings?
Well, absolutely. And in fact, terrorism is a tactic. But the only way that terrorism succeeds is if it can have a strategic effect on its target, if it can make a country do something strategically that undermines its own interests. So the only way to fight al-Qaeda and terrorism is to have a counterterrorism strategy that's broader than just tactics. So it's not a matter of the drones being bad in and of themselves. The problem is that the drones have been driving our whole strategy. And they're not really achieving the kinds of broader ends that I think are important to think about.
So you make the case that it needs to be supplemented by something more. What is that something more?
Well, I think it needs to be fit within a broader framework. We've been using drones extremely frequently and with very little transparency, so there's not a good broad explanation for why we're using them. And I don't think this is the best way to strategically defeat al-Qaeda, and I don't think it's the best way to keep local insurgencies local. And I also don't think in the long run that it's the best way to protect the American people.